came across Andy Kaufman when I was in middle school. So that's like, oh God, like 1997 or 98 is when I heard about him. And I grew up in a small town in Wisconsin. And so it wasn't like a comedy town,
Right.
not,
Yeah.
not much, so I had like a book and but I was a big wrestling fan, still am a little bit.
Yeah.
And
So that.
so when I heard that there was a comedian that used to wrestle, and I knew Jerry Lawler because of being just like growing up in middle school watching the Attitude Era, I knew who that was. So I just got really into this guy who was an actor, who was a comedian, who was a wrestler. But he was on Taxi. I remember watching Taxi.
Vodka, you're weird.
Hey, we're all coming from a different direction, and sometimes it doesn't get in sync.
Andy Kaufman, like being a fan of his, gave me kind of a validation to be weird and to not always like follow the norm.
Right.
Because
Right.
like, oh, this guy did it his own way. Oh, I don't have to do what everyone else is doing. I can just do this and see what happens. Oh, why does Dr. Pepper come in a bottle?
Why?
Because his wife died. Because at the time I was doing like professional, like really high, like professional juggling shows.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
was like doing like cruises but my show was so weird because I was very like Kaufman inspired. So it was almost like you said like anti-comedy earlier. It was like an anti-juggling show while being a pretty damn good juggling show. Right under the leg. Let's count them. That's good, right? It was almost like the Amazing Jonathan, like what he did with magic. Now I'm not comparing myself to AJ, but I'm just saying like that same vibe of
Right.
Sorry you had to see that.
like,
Right.
oh, I don't know, I don't really care if this works. I'm just trying to get through this, or whatever
Right.
whatever the
Yeah.
feeling was. Very just like untraditional was what I was like like interested in performing, because everyone sees the same shtick when you see a juggler, it's all the same kind of shit. But when you see someone who just like doesn't care about that and wants to like flip it down, reverse it, and it's kind of more interesting to me.